Yeah. Blackjack. Life is like a game of cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Yeah. Blackjack. To play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY Richardson, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Platinum artist, platinum songwriter. You know what it is. Do me a favor. The thumbs up is always appreciated. Please leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel. Tell a friend. And if you want to be one of the first people, like I always say, notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and hit the bell notification, and you'll be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game. I'm gonna get right into it. This is a second part question from the young man from New England, Connecticut, and he wanted to know what I thought was the better album between 2Pac's Me Against the World and Biggie's album Ready to Die. And I'm gonna give it to you like this: when you think about the influence that 2Pac had on Biggie, you know what I mean? You can most people can kind of like already say like, hey, you know, Me Against the World was a better album. And if I'm judging from that perspective, I would say so. But the question here is more importantly dealing with the songs and like the song for song versus, if you will, you know, when you sit down and you really think about that, right? And so what I'm going to do is I like to go, you know, song for song on the album as it stands, you know, not trying to compare this song to this song, that song to this song, just the layout of the album and what the songs are in the order that they are on the album. And so for me, you know, I'm going to get right into it. Both of these albums had intros. Me Against the World had an intro and Ready to Die had an intro. And you know, from the intro and how the album started, I gotta go with the intro on Me Against the World. How 2Pac's intro started, you know, basically like a news report of, you know, when he was shot, you know, at Quad Studio in Times Square and the whole 9 yards. So, you know, song number one for me, or intro number one, should I say, would be 2Pac's album, Me Against the World. So 2Pac gets that one over Biggie's intro on Ready to Die. We go to song number two. Song number two on Biggie's album is Things Done Change, produced by a guy by the name of Darnell Scott. And on 2Pac's album, Me Against the World, the song number two is If I Die Tonight, and that was produced by Easy Mo B. Now, Easy Mo B did a lot of work on these two albums, you know what I mean? And that was one of the things that 2Pac was kind of mad at, is because, you know, Biggie was going to Easy Mo B to get a lot of his tracks, and at that time, you know, 2Pac and Easy Mo B were working really closely together, you know, to cultivate Me Against the World. And so song number two, If I Die Tonight, produced by Easy Mo B, versus Things Done Change, you know, I definitely got to go with Easy Mo B and 2Pac on this one. And, you know, once again, one of those songs about death, but the production was phenomenal. You know, the way that they meshed together, Easy Mo B and 2Pac, I think they worked really well together in doing when they did music together. And so so song number two, I'm choosing If I Die Tonight over Things Done Change. Song number three on Me Against the World is the title track, Me Against the World, featuring Dramacidal. And song number three on Biggie's album was basically Give Me the Loot. And so now we jump back into that again. So Give Me the Loot was produced by Easy Mo B. And, you know, Me Against the World was produced by Soul Shock and Carlin. And if you know, if I got to go with like just that substantive nature, production, the young lady singing on Me Against the World, 2Pac sampled that Burt Bacharach. And like I said, if I got to go with that, I got to go with, as far as song number three, Me Against the World versus Give Me the Loot, I got to go with Me Against the World. Song number four is So Many Tears on 2Pac's Me Against the World, and versus Biggie's song Machine Gun Funk, once again produced by Easy Mo B. hands down, you know, we don't even have to really go with this one, right? Hands down, shed so many tears, basically. So song number 4, you know, so many tears on Me Against the World versus number 4 on Biggie's album Machine Gun Funk. So many tears basically wins hands down. Then we go to song number 5, Temptations on 2Pac's Me Against the World, and then you go over to Biggie, the song Warning, which was phenomenal. The video that Biggie did for Warning was crazy. Who the paging me at 5:40? You know what I mean? The morning, you know. So yeah, but Temptations was one of those records, man. One of those records. And this is a hard one to really, because it was, oh man, you know, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I gotta really, and then, cause you know, when 2Pac did the Temptations video, he wasn't free. He was in jail, but all of the celebrities that came through to be in that video form, you know, made it extra special, if you will. And so, number 5, Temptations versus Biggie's Warning. I gotta go with Biggie's Warning. I'm just gonna go with Biggie's Warning. I thought that was a well-crafted song. Temptations is what it is, and I love that record too. Like I said, I love both artists. I mean, you know what I mean, as far as being artists, you know, there wasn't any kind of, you know, bias as far as like them putting music out, because I think both of them did great music. But for song number 5, Temptations, yes, versus Warning, I'm gonna give it to Biggie on Warning. You know, and like I said, once again, and so we go song number 6. You got Young Niggas, right, on Me Against the World. Then you got Ready to Die on Biggie's album, once again produced by Easy Mo B. Basically, and the crazy part, Temptations was produced by Easy Mo B too. And Warning was produced by Easy Mo B. So when you jump back to number 5 again, that's you know, Easy Mo B versus Easy Mo B, and just to go in. But like I said, we on number 6. Number 6, basically, Young Niggas versus Ready to Die, once again produced by Easy Mo B. And I'm gonna go hands down with Biggie on this one. Ready to Die was dope. It was dope. Like I said, it was phenomenal. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna go Ready to Die against number 6, Young Niggas. Then I'm gonna go One More Chance, number 7. We on number 7 now. One More Chance versus Heavy in the Game. Now, most people might say, well, yeah, Biggie's One More Chance. I'm not talking about the remix they did. I'm talking about the song that is actually on the album. So you got One More Chance, right, versus Heavy in the Game featuring Richie Rich. Now, as far as songs are concerned, you know what I mean? Not the remix that they did, you know, but the song that was actually on the album. I'm going with 2Pac's Heavy in the Game. That was one of my favorite records off of Me Against the World, and it was a dope record. And so, like I said, I'm not talking about the One More Chance remixes that they did. 2Pac was talking about that too. Like 2Pac was like, yeah, they done did 10 remixes, you know, trying to help sell Biggie's album and so on and so forth. So that was basically one of the things that he was referring to when he was talking about that. So number 7, I'm choosing Heavy in the Game featuring Richie Rich over Biggie's One More Chance, the one that was on Ready to Die, not the remix that they did. I'm going with the song that's actually on the record. And so number 7, Heavy in the Game, wins. Number 8, I'm going number 8. You got F Me from no, we got to go on Biggie's album. Number 8 is an interlude, right? So we skip the interlude and we go directly to the song. And so number 8 would be on Biggie's album, counting the song. Number 8 would be The What featuring Method Man, and number 8 on 2Pac's album would be Lord Knows. And for that one, I gotta go with Biggie. The What featuring Method Man was dope, was crazy. I'm like, yeah, the you know, when you talk about that, once again, that's an Easy Mo B joint. You know what I mean? You know, Lord Knows, I love that record. I just love it for what it stands for, and like I said, the substantive nature of what 2Pac did was just a little bit more honestly better than Biggie's. You know what I mean? Like what he left behind as far as like stuff that could stick to your ribs, you can listen to for inspiration and things like that. I think that Tupac was better. But for number 8, like I say, Lord Knows versus Biggie's The What featuring Method Man, I gotta go with Biggie on that one for number 8. And so then we get into number 9. Number 9 is a head-to-head banger. You got number 9 on 2Pac's Me Against the World versus number 9. What would be number 9 on Biggie's album? Juicy. And you know, hands down, I love Juicy. I love what it meant for hip hop. I love, you know, just all of the things that that Biggie covered in Juicy, you know, from, you know, Word Up Magazine, like all of those elements of hip hop, the DJs, you know, Funk Master Flex, Kid Capri, Love Bug Starsky, like all of those DJs and the guys who mean a lot to hip hop as far as that's concerned. I love how he did that, right? But when you talk about Juicy, song number 9 versus Dear Mama on 2Pac's album, I gotta go hands down Dear Mama. That was just a little bit, once again, a little bit more substantive, a little bit more personal, a little bit more of the artist giving of himself, and which people could relate to, you know what I mean? And I think that's one of 2Pac's best songs that he ever wrote. And so now we jump into number 10, It Ain't Easy versus Biggie's Everyday Struggle. And I gotta go with to be perfectly honest, It Ain't Easy. Once again, 2Pac was giving a little bit more of himself and what he was dealing with at that particular time, and the vulnerability of who he was on It Ain't Easy versus Biggie's song, The Everyday Struggle, in which I love, once again, Biggie's, how he went into what was the everyday struggle for him and for a lot of us dealing with certain things, you know what I mean? But for, like I said, for song number 10, I got to go with 2Pac, It Ain't Easy over Biggie's Everyday Struggle. And so now we jump into song number 11. And song number 11 on Me Against the World is 2Pac's Can You Get Away versus Biggie's song Me and My Bitch. This one's kind of like a no-brainer also. I like Me and My Bitch, but like I said, Can You Get Away was a little bit more substantive, dealing with domestic violence. We see what's going on with the football player, in regards to that. The 2 football players, the one, who did what he did to the girl because she wouldn't bow down to him, and the guy who just recently we seen the video. So I think, like, once again, you can go to 2Pac's album and you can pick up on things, right, that are currently going on, and currently they reoccur in life, dealing with life's problems. So if I'm going song number 11, I'm choosing 2Pac's Can You Get Away over Biggie's Me and My Bitch. And so the song number 12, when we dealing with it, you got Old School, right? The Old School joint on Me Against the World versus song number 12, which would be Big Papa on Biggie's album. And hands down, I got to give it to Biggie. Song number 12, I'm choosing Biggie's Big Papa over 2Pac's Old School, even though I feel like Old School is one of them joints where it's just one of those records that 2Pac just lays it out and he gives it up for all the brothers from the who laid the groundwork for him to be where he's at. Like I said, so for song number 12, I'm choosing I'm choosing Biggie's Big Papa over 2Pac's song Old School. So we move on to song number 13, Fuck the World, and to Biggie's song Respect off of Ready to Die. And like I said, I'm going with 2Pac on Fuck the World. Like I said, this song right here was produced by Shock G, if you will. And I think that that was a dope record. Like I said, they try to say that I don't care, I really love that record. That record, sticks with me until this day. So, like I said, for song number 13, I'm choosing 2Pac's Fuck the World over Biggie's song Respect. Song number 14, Death Around the Corner, and on Biggie's album is Friend of Mine. Once again, I got to go with 2Pac. Like I said, I got to go with 2Pac another song like in the beginning, song number 2, If I Die Tonight. Then you get to song number 14, Death Around the Corner. That was one of the things that Tupac was known for, was rapping about death. Most people say, he predicted his own death. He wanted to die young, and that was something that one could argue was one of the things that Tupac really felt like he wanted to do. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? He said, he said, even as a adolescent, I refused to be in convalescent. You know what I mean? So, for song number 14, I gotta choose Tupac's "Death Around the Corner" over Biggie's "Friend of Mine." And so we jump on to song number 15. Song number 15, you got Outlaw featuring Dramacidal. And then you got song Biggie's Unbelievable. Once again, a DJ Premier joint. And to be truthfully honest, I got to go with Unbelievable on this one. I got to give Biggie this one. Unbelievable was dope. You know what I mean? Premier did a crazy job on that record. And like I said, when you listen to just the record, just the song, like I said, the beat, and you can compare these songs. I don't want you to jump to no other. I'm going to compare this one to this one. These are the songs as they are laid out on the album. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's all I'm giving you. I'm not giving you, what do you think about this song versus this song? I'm not giving you the biased version of what the comparison would be if I wanted to do that. I could do that, but I'm just going song by song as they lay out. And so for song number 15, I'm choosing Biggie's Unbelievable on Ready to Die over Tupac's Outlaw. And so Biggie did one more song on Ready to Die than Tupac did on Me Against the World. And so there would be no comparison to pick up from that perspective on that one. So Biggie would get that one. So Suicidal Thoughts is the last song on produced by Lord Finesse. Lord Finesse, and that would be the last song. So Biggie would get that one in comparison to Tupac. He only had 15 joints on Me Against the World, so Biggie would get the last one, which was Suicidal Thoughts. But now, I'm gonna go into two songs that most people heard different times. So now, when Who Shot Ya was released, right? And this is going to be Who Shot Ya versus Hit 'Em Up. We already know what that's going to be, but I'm saying I got to give you the comparison and why I'm doing it like this. So now, once again, Who Shot Ya wasn't on any album. It was basically a B-side single, if you will. And so was Hit 'Em Up. Hit 'Em Up was one of them records that Tupac just did, and they released it as a single. But phenomenally, interestingly enough, it was phenomenal. One of the greatest diss records, if not the greatest diss record of all time. Now, with that being said, Tupac was in jail when Biggie released Who Shot Ya, and everybody has been saying, from Biggie's camp, and like I said, I respect what their opinion is, but they say, well, it had nothing to do with Tupac. I choose to beg to differ. You know what I mean? You can say that it was done before, it was done whatever. We'll just say it was done before. Okay, cool. The timing and what had happened, and Biggie being friends with Tupac at that particular time, it was to say the least suspicious. But like I said, I like to believe that how Biggie threw subliminal shots, it had a little bit of a dig to do with Tupac, right? Okay, now, so when Tupac got out, he was able to respond, but he had to live a little bit of life before that, right? And so, like I said, even with California Love, as we see that first verse, fresh out of jail, out on bail, fresh out of jail, Tupac was the type of guy who dealt with what he was living at that particular time, and he would take that and put that in his music. So, same thing dealing with Hit 'Em Up. First thought, fuck you, and the click you claim, and dealing with Faith. And it was a while after that when he made that record. It was like a couple of months afterwards. So he wasn't really in that time because everything was good between him and Faith at that time. But when he dropped Hit 'Em Up, and I'm comparing Hit 'Em Up to Who Shot Ya, we know that Hit 'Em Up is a far better an explosive record than Who Shot Ya, based on the fact that just the contents of what Tupac was talking about. But let me tell you, Who Shot Ya was knocking. You know what I mean? I mean, just that beat, the everything, like, you know. But when you talk about, yo, the better song, if you will, I gotta go with 2Pac's "Hit 'Em Up." Just the song and the contents, everything else. But you know, Who Shot You? Let's make no mistake, is a knocking record. You know what I mean? I like both of the records actually. You know what I mean? So, but I gotta go with 2Pac on that one. You know what I mean? So, to the brother from New England, Connecticut, thank you for the questions, and and I hope this answers your question. But like I said, overall, between these two records, let's be clear. Me Against the World was a better record than Ready to Die, period. You know what I mean? Just the nature of it, the songs, you know, more songs for 2Pac than Biggie on this one. But yeah, I can give you my opinion in regards to that. So if I got to choose between these two records, I'm choosing Me Against the World. And like I said, I just know that for a fact based on the contents of the record, and what the record means to hip hop and overall. But Biggie's album Ready to Die was dope, but it was a little bit more gritty. And having to do remixes for songs, you know, and then make a radio version. 2Pac didn't really have to do that with Me Against the World. Everything that was on the record, you had to do radio edits, you know, edit out some bad words or whatever. But everything that was on the record was basically on the record. Biggie had to do a couple of remixes and things like that to make that. And so by that being what that is, that record itself wasn't better than Me Against the World. Your boy DELRAY, straight gang.